Until Dawn is out this week, and it'll be the newest game to take on a B-movie style. That means it's trying to imitate the style of low-budget commercial films that often feature over-the-top acting, outrageous stories, and exploit hooks like extreme violence to get people interested. Here are 8 video games that have managed to pull off the B-movie style really well. No list about kitschy over-the-top video games is complete without a mention of Deadly Premonition, so let's get it out of the way early. Deadly Premonition is a polarizing cult classic game, which tells a bizarre whodunit horror story within its so-bad-it's-good recreation of the Twin Peaks television series. The game earned mixed reception and was referred to as a ludicrous pantomime of pop culture references, and what one has to assume is an acute awareness of its own silliness. If you like to judge your B-movie games by their cover, then PS2 game War of the Monsters does not disappoint. War of the Monsters is a 3D fighting game whose bright colors and towering beasties define its drive-in movie style. The game is an homage to classic monster movies like King Kong and Godzilla. Thanks to video games though, there's no need to be a cowering civilian, because you can embody any of 10 gigantic rampaging monsters and beat the crap out of another monster while leveling a city. If invading mankind as a Mars Attacks-style alien race sounds like your jam, then Destroy All Humans by Pandemic Studios could be the game for you. The game gives you a lot of freedom to create chaos as a little grey man, and there are some real treats to be found in the game's cutscenes, including a fascinating conversation between a cow and an alien. You can fly about in your UFO and zap everything in sight while the background music whistles mysteriously, and civilians cry out, "Holy smokes, it's an alien!" seconds before their untimely demise. Command & Conquer Red Alert 3 is the third entry in the Red Alert series that lets you play through an alternate reality of World War II, where Hitler never came to power and the West fights the Soviets. This is a real-time strategy game which features units like war bears and dolphins, and treats players to some truly insane plot points, delivered in equally ludicrous live-action cutscenes, including the Soviets traveling back in time to kill Albert Einstein. The cheesiness of dialogue is embraced heavily, and the characters are portrayed by actors like Tim Curry, Jenny McCarthy, George Takei, and David Hasselhoff. If it's a balance of exploitation-style comedy, horror, and gore that you're after, then Lollipop Chainsaw and its horde of zombies should do the trick. Juliet and her trusty chainsaw kick around town, taking out the Walking Dead with the occasional help of her boyfriend Nick, now a disembodied head hanging from her belt. Lollipop Chainsaw is a hack-and-slash game with a bizarre sense of humor that only Suda51 and Grasshopper Manufacture can provide. If you're on board with that brand of weird, you'll probably have a good time. The House of the Dead series has always been pretty heavy on its silly dialogue and zombie shenanigans, but it was Overkill that decided to go all out and embrace its B-movie nature. The rail shooter has fast-paced gunplay, expletives, lame one-liners, and an over-the-top gory grindhouse style full of violence and sex. GameSpot actually awarded the game Funniest Game of 2009, due in part to the interplay between the main characters. House of the Dead takes blood and gore to a brand new level, and its commitment to its style ensures that killing off the undead isn't boring. The latest Wolfenstein games embrace that B-movie attitude of not taking themselves too seriously. Honestly, they have it all. Wacky alternate timelines, a meathead protagonist who spouts horrible one-liners, and plenty of Nazi killing. Wolfenstein The New Order is more than happy to equip you with massive noisy guns and plenty of baddies to point them at. The devs promised that standalone prequel The Old Blood would focus even more on the pulp B-movie vibe, and they did a pretty good job of delivering on that, with even more ludicrous bombastic action and the addition of Nazi zombies. When Ubisoft announced Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon on April 1st, 2013, nobody believed that the company would create such a ridiculous-looking expansion to the otherwise fairly serious Far Cry 3. but they were serious, and it was awesome. Ubisoft described Blood Dragon as an 80s VHS vision of the future, where you need to get the girl, kill off the bad dudes, and save the world. It echoed schlocky 80s action films, replaced the bright tropical world of Far Cry 3 with a retro-futuristic apocalyptic world filled with neon colors, and starred Sergeant Rex Power Colt, a cyber commando with a huge attitude problem and the coolest name in the damn galaxy. Let me know down in the comments if you are a fan of B-movie video games and which one is your favorite. I will catch you again next week.